Welcome to the Hotelligence Podcast, your strategic vantage point on the changing landscape of hotel safety. Hosted by Jim Kortz, a retired FBI DHS investigator, and Don Carr, a former frontline security owner-operator with years of first-hand incident response experience on hotel properties. Every episode brings you closer to understanding the full picture and what the future may hold. Let's begin.
Welcome back to another episode of the Hotelligence Podcast. This is Season 2, Episode 9, When Not Acting is a Decision.
On the last episode, we said knowing is not neutral.
Today, we follow that to its uncomfortable conclusion.
If knowing isn't neutral, then doing something about it isn't neutral either.
Which puts pressure on a word this season has defended carefully.
Right, and that's restraint. So let's talk about the comfort of stillness. So operators who absorb this season have learned to trust holding back.
And they should. Restraint protects role. It keeps a property from expanding duty it was never meant to carry.
Yeah, but somewhere along the way, restraint and inaction start to feel like the same thing.
They aren't. Restraint is a structured choice about where information belongs. Inaction is the absence of a choice.
Right. One is a position, and the other is more of a vacuum.
Well said. And from the outside, on a quiet night, they can look identical. The difference only surfaces later. The line that separates them is the one we drew last episode.
Right. Knowledge.
Before a property knows, stillness is defensible. There's nothing yet to respond to.
After the property knows, stillness changes character. So now the property held something and chose to leave it where it was.
And that choice is legitimate sometimes. Holding can be the right call.
Right, but it has to be a call, right? So in an investigation, the question is never just what the property did. It's what it decided not to do and whether anyone decided it at all.
So inaction by default and inaction by judgment, those are scored very differently.
Yes, and here's where the operators get nervous. They hear act and they hear escalate.
Right. And those are not the same word. We spent an entire episode on that. Escalation that feels like safety often produces the opposite.
Right. And acting can be quiet. It can be routing the information to the role that owns it, or logging the decision, or moving it one layer, not 10.
So the point was never to do something dramatic. It was to make the choice visible inside structure.
Yeah, and a property that decides to hold and records why has acted.
A property that simply never engaged has not. Same outcome on the surface, opposite position underneath.
Yeah, and what counts as acting really depends on the property.
Right. So the role present at 2 a.m. on a limited service night shift can do less than a full service operation with a duty manager on site.
So the threshold moves. What a reasonable property could have done shifts with what it had available.
Right. But the principle holds across all of them. Once knowledge is present, the option to do nothing is still an option. It just stops being a free one, if you will.
Yeah, the market sets what acting looks like. It doesn't excuse the property from deciding. And that's Season 2, Episode 9 of the Hotelligence Podcast.
Next time, we'll talk about why the vendor doesn't carry your duty. What happens when a property hands the act to someone else and assumes it handed off the obligation too? And remember, we're in this together.
And together, we make hospitality stronger.
We publish a short written insider briefing alongside each episode. The link is in the show notes.
Thank you for joining the Hotelligence Podcast, where experience informs smarter, safer hotel operations and prepares you for what comes next. Stay informed, stay confident, and stay connected. As the conversation evolves, Jim Cords and Don Carr will highlight developments that help hotels strengthen their approach to safety and risk management. See you next episode.